Today, we're diving into the minds of some incredible business leaders.
You've bought businesses, you've sold business, you've started businesses. What do you prefer?
In the early stage of my life, I preferred buying broken companies and fixing them. I would buy good companies and scale them, investing in people in their 20s. Because then by the time I hit 70, they're on fire type thing. It's not just about success, it's about the journey, the hurdles, and turning challenges into opportunities. So let's jump right into it.
You've done a lot of things in your life. You've got a lot of things going on. What is your definition of an entrepreneur?
You know, I guess the simple way to define an entrepreneur is someone who turns an idea into a profitable organization. That's essentially what we do. You know, I've jokingly said entrepreneurs are the biggest liars in the world. When the moment you tell someone what you're going to do, it's not true. Like if I say I'm going to create this company that goes all around the world. In 1993, I wrote a vision of world abundance through business re-education. I said to everyone, I'm going to create the biggest business coaching company in the world. I'm going to put it in 100 countries, and I'm going to have this massive organization doing this. And people looked at me like, you're not going to do that, you know, because I think I was 21 or 22 at the time. And they're like, you can't possibly do that. And so here we sit today, 83 countries, 1,100 partners and offices around the world. So yeah, I got a little ways to go, but 30 years I've been pushing at it, doing it. And that's the thing, that entrepreneurs turn an idea into a profitable organization. We bring together three things, Bill. We bring together an idea, people, and money. That's really what we do. We bring those three things together. Often too many entrepreneurs think they got to use their own money. They don't learn how to raise capital. They don't learn how to employ people, so they do all the work themselves. You know, that's the thing. And they keep thinking they're the only ones that can have a great idea too. Yeah, I like other people's ideas a lot better.
You've bought businesses, you've sold business, you've started businesses. What do you prefer?
I prefer buying a company. Well, let me go through different phases of my life. In the early stage of my life, I preferred buying broken companies and fixing them. So single entities. So, you know, it might be a restaurant or a beauty salon or, you know, all the different types of things that I bought. Second phase of my life was I would buy good companies and scale them. In other words, a company that was great in one location that I could take to hundreds of locations or thousands of locations, or it was great in one country and it should have been in many countries type thing. Now I'm in my 50s. I like investing in people in their 20s. Because then by the time I hit 70, they're on fire type thing. They'll be in that 40s and 50s, hitting their best work in their life and doing amazing things. So, but I'm investing in young people who have a good idea, who can scale to be a global organization. I don't get involved in anything today that I don't see the ability to write a minimum of $100 billion business plan, preferably $1 billion business plan if we do it right. But $1 billion's easy, Bill. This is the craziest thing. See, Bill Billions. See, that should be your new nickname, Billions. Make a hat that says Billions.
Do it.
See, there's a whole brand right there. You know, you could create that and turn it into a business. But My thing about $1 billion is it's just X times Y. X meaning the business, and like, remember your guys that we taught them how to create $1 billion. They have a $40 million operation, and we said, okay, how many do you need to do to have $1 billion? And they do the math, and they go, well, we need 250. Like if you have a $10 million operation, you need 100 of them to do $1 billion. If you have a $40 million operation, you need. Does that make sense? It's
Yeah.
How many cities, how many countries? And so literally the other day I was chatting with someone who he's got a $2 million operation. And I said, well, okay, can you push that further? He said, you know, if we really push it, we could get to 4. I said, well, what if you pushed it just a bit more? He said, probably 2.5. I said, great. How many of those, how many cities, how many countries do you need that in to make it $1 billion? And that's an entrepreneur. See, that book over your shoulder there, right? Just lean a little to the side there. Is that Billionaire in Training or is that Instant Cash Flow?
I've got Instant Cash Flow up here. I've got Billionaire in Training's behind here, I think. So,
behind there.
Yeah.
The whole point of that is learning that you start as a student, you become an employee. From an employee, you're an apprentice business owner. So you start at self-employed. Self-employed is where you do it all yourself. Then you employ people, you become a manager. Then you build a business that works by itself with management running it. That's where it's now an asset. And then you go into investing. And then an entrepreneur is where you get other people to invest their money, their time, their energy into something you create. Like in business, that would be a franchise, or in the stock market, you'd build a company and have them trade, like buy your shares, or you would build a REIT, a real estate investment trust, where people put their money in, or a venture capital fund. In the real estate business, you'd develop a high rise and sell the apartments, or develop a piece of land and sell off each one. That's sort of an entrepreneur is one who gets others to invest in them. I think we confuse business owner with entrepreneur too often. A business owner owns and runs a business. In fact, most people aren't even business owners. They're business, what would the word be, Bill?
Employee.
Business employees, yeah.
They're employees of their own business. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not a business owner. I'm a business employee is what a lot of people should say. Yeah. Or a business manager. And eventually you get to business owner, where it works without you.
You got some great advice early on and started down a path of personal development. But what is something that you wish someone had told you then that they didn't?
Go faster. Go faster. Fail fast, fail forward, fail more often. And the other thing was, Bill, raise capital earlier. I really wished I'd learned to raise capital earlier in my career instead of bootstrapping it. You know, I wore it as a badge of honor that I worked 16-hour days, 6 and 7 days a week. I would brag that I slept in my office type thing. You know, you hear all these people say stupid things like hustle and grind. And like, look, hustle and grind's the new stupid. If only I knew back then, Bill, that me working that much was covering up the problems with my business model, covering up the problems with the way I did things. If I'd learned to raise capital, I could have employed great people to do that stuff. You know, I had a great business idea. I just didn't have the capital to put the people to work and the marketing to work to scale it fast. I think that's probably a big aspect of what I wished I'd done earlier.
I love that. How can people connect with Brad Sugars and the Brad Sugars brand out there?
Every single social platform, you'll find me on there, my YouTube channel, bradsugars.com, you name it, do it that way. But jump on Amazon, start with the books, I think, or jump on ActionCOACH.com and download all the free ebooks I have up there. Wherever it is that you get started, it's just start. And this is the biggest thing. Keep learning, keep coming back, keep reading, jump on my podcast, the Big Success Podcast. But ultimately, Bill, it really just comes down to continuous learning to grow into the person that will achieve your dreams and goals. When you become that person, everything else falls into place. You want to be an entrepreneur? Great. Study all the greatest entrepreneurs, learn from them, learn with them, and that's how you get there. And that's a wrap for today's epic conversation here on Epic Entrepreneurs. Huge thanks to our amazing guests for their pouring their heart into sharing their journey. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button, leave a review, share it, or hit that bell. But until next time, let's make sure you keep dreaming, take massive action, and stay epic.